Welcome to Transit Fridays. After a little hiatus, don't know how to say in English, but after a little break between weeks. So last week I didn't manage to do my video, but here's the full moon. So what a great time to come back and do the video. So today's the full moon, and today is also the solstice. So summer solstice if you are in the northern hemisphere, or the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere as well. So an auspicious time for a full moon, an auspicious time to be back as well with constructive astrology. Remember, this is what we do in this channel. So no fear mongering, no esoteric terrorism, just pure and simple. What is the best that we can do with these astrological placements? Also, not coming from a Pollyanna place, and just shallow toxic positivity as well, which I don't believe in either. But here we are. This is the chart for the full moon. So full moon today hasn't happened yet. It will be happening in about 12 hours. In about 12 hours. So we've got 12 hours to think about it. Well, 12 hours as I'm recording. It might be a little less as soon as I post it. But anyhow, this is a perfect day to think about this combination. Remember, full moons are connected to combination, is the peak of the cycle, the lunar cycle, intends to show us something very powerfully, really illuminate something in the sky and in our lives as well, and what it is that's being illuminated in your life. So first of all, where is Capricorn in your chart? Where is, in particular, where is 1 degree Capricorn? Because that's where the full moon is falling. That's where the full moon is illuminating and showing you something, revealing something for you about your life. So that's one. Two, obviously, is the beginning of Cancer season as well. And we wouldn't be having a full moon in Capricorn otherwise. It would still be a full moon in Sagittarius. So it's also the beginning of Cancer season that's happened yesterday. And it's a very, very fresh beginning here. This week we also had Venus and Mercury moving to Cancer. So I think there's a kind of a reinforcement of this energy of Cancer season. And it's a big shift from the Gemini heavily influenced, time that we had looking into ideas. Jupiter moved to Gemini as well. So really expanding is a more expansive energy, is a more yang energy. So we're sort of headed towards, again, a more in part of our yearly cycle, let's put it that way, because we're talking about the sun and obviously the other planets that are nearby the sun that travels together. So with that strong emphasis in Cancer, we kind of shift our attention from big ideas, going around, getting out into the world, asking questions, being curious, to being a little bit more focused on family issues, family connections, security issues as well. I think this is another one that's very powerful with both, really. Capricorn and Cancer is a lot about security, but it will be different kinds of securities. And Cancer season is definitely the sort of more emotional, private life type of security that we're searching for, that we want to, and that we value more as well around this time. With the full moon, I think we have this duality here between Capricorn and Cancer. So between worldly security, achievements, ambitions, and inner security, life, private life security, our home base, where do we live? What do we do in our private life? How much of a balance do we have between work and private life? And that's the funny one, to be honest, because this is one of the reasons I didn't manage to record my video last week, is because I'm working a lot. And it's not a bad thing, it's a wonderful thing. I launched 2 academies that were very successfully launched at this first stage, so it's amazing. And one of my academies is like fully ready, my astrological tarot one, but my astrology academy I'm still working on. And I guess because I really have this very strong work ethic, Capricorn, and this full moon, by the way, is very close to my Jupiter. Because I have this very strong work ethic. I cannot just do something just to speed up. I need to take my time with what I'm creating, content wise, intellectually speaking, and so on. So I'm really taking my time with this academy, but it means that I'm working a lot. I've been working a lot this last 2 months. To be honest with you, the last 6 months has been like, crazy, but it's paying off, and it's amazing to have that result as well, and feel appreciated professionally on a larger scale, like for the first time as well. So this is something that's been really amazing. And perhaps this is me sharing with you a little bit of what this full moon combination is about personally, being so close to my Jupiter and showing the sort of professional ambitions, work, fruits, etc. But also I need to balance it a little bit more. So my brother is coming to work. He's a filmmaker, and he's going to be working here in Brazil for a couple of weeks. And so it's going to be a wonderful opportunity to have a bit of family time. Um, Part of why I didn't record a video as well last week is because my mom's got a bit of a health issue as well that, we found out last week. So there was also that on top of the work. And again, that sounds so much like the Capricorn Cancer axis of, the family and the work. And I've been focusing so much on work and not really giving much attention to my family as well, or hanging out with my family and my parents and whatnot. So that's something that's really under the spotlight for me here. And I didn't plan on sharing this. I do my videos in a very spontaneous way for YouTube. And this is what came out. This is the truth. This is the me that's, making the video. And like, those are the issues. So, anyhow, all of that, not really to self-indulge, but to kind of tell you this is the theme, isn't it, with a full moon in Capricorn? Is like, how much attention are you giving to family issues, to private home life, and how much are you giving to your ambitions and to your world success, or what you want to achieve out there in the world as well. So this duality is very much under the spotlight here with this full moon. We've got a very, very precise sextile between Mercury and Mars here. So I think mind and action can be aligned during this full moon. I don't feel this full moon is particularly challenging or difficult in any way, like the previous one, for example. Not even the previous one, but the one before the previous one, when we had a square with Pluto in the full moon. So we had a full moon Scorpion square to Pluto. That's a lot more emotionally demanding. I feel this full moon is not particularly, unless you're having a personal transit there, that would be reflective of a hot spot and a big time for you. In which case, the full moon would definitely be activating that and, stirring more, which I think is what the lunar, the fast moving transits do really. They accelerate, they trigger, they're big triggers for the long lasting processes and transformations that we're going through already. So I don't think this is a particularly challenging one. We have this sextile between Mars and Mercury that we can take advantage of, in terms of aligning our actions with our mind, with our ideas as well, giving rise to these ideas in some way, acting based on our values as well. Is Mars in Taurus, is ruled by that Venus in Cancer as well. So we could create nurturing and nourishing work routines. I think that's another one that comes to my mind. And I've been really working on that in the last couple of days, really, which I noticed I'm kind of going overboard a little bit and need to relax as well, and like have some life quality a little bit more, go back to my spiritual practices a little bit more, and and things like that, because they're very, very nourishing for me, like to be able to um listen to mantras in the morning, not just go straight into my phone and like replying to messages of clients and students and etc. So it's something very new. I'm really learning about this sort of work-life balance, because there's been a lot more demand for my work, for my attention, for, answering questions and etc. So that I think that strong Cancerian flavor there is kind of bringing that tension as well of like, okay, what is nourishing for you? What is nurturing? And how can you implement that? How can you embrace that more in your life? So I would suggest that you really look into your chart. Where is 1 degree Capricorn? Where is Cancer as well? What houses are being picked up by this transit? And in the same way, where is Taurus? So you can place that Mercury Mars sextile as well in your chart, and you can find out where the action and the ideas align in terms of your own personal natal chart as well. I think that's a wonderful idea as well. But that's kind of like the major big thing that's happening. Wonderful time to clear your tarot deck, to, in fact, I might pick a few cards here as well for this full moon. Why not? I'm really loving the astrological tarot practice as well. It's brought so much value into my life in the last 6 months, as I built this whole course. And by the way, my next astrological tarot masterclass, which is very affordable, 7 weeks for like $28, and is a wonderful community inside our Facebook group. And is really a lot of value in those 7 weeks for $28. So if you're interested, the next one starts on the 16th of July. Oh, I dropped. This is a card I picked today already, actually, in fact. The King of Pentacles. So I just dropped it. Is the Taurus card. And it's a lot about mastering the material world, isn't it? Having stability, feeling secure, and all of that. And I picked this card today already. And as I'm talking about the master classes, that's what dropped. So I just want to pick 3 cards for us for this full moon. What is the general advice from the cards for this Capricorn full moon? What can be the themes as well that we might be witnessing, dealing with, working with? So cut, put it back together. First card, the World. Love it. I love the World card. And in fact, it's a Saturn card. Second card, Ace of Pentacles. How amazing is that? Wow. And the third card is the Three of Wands. Now, the Three of Wands is the Sun in Aries, actually. And looking at the chart of the full moon, we do have North Node in Aries. We do have the Sun Moon midpoint at 1 degree Aries as well. So the sacred marriage of this conflict, or the conflicting energy between the opposition, is at 1 degree Aries. So this card is resonating a little bit with this midpoint, the North Node and Chiron as well. And healing those wounds, which is something we've been doing for a while. I've been talking about the North Node and Chiron for a while. There are videos just about that as well. And it's a lot about healing individual wounds, or healing wounds on our sense of individuality or our sense of identity and independence to do things, to take action. I think this full moon obviously is also connected to this long-term work that we've been doing with these placements in Aries as well. But in terms of these 3 cards that I picked for the full moon, sounds like a wonderful full moon, to be honest. And I don't feel astrologically that this is a particularly challenging full moon. Looking at it now, obviously we do have a Neptune square to the full moon, which is a 29, so is out of signs. Sometimes we struggle to see out of signs aspects, but it's there, it's quite close. And it is telling us to connect with our spiritual values, our spirituality, higher values, the higher perspective of things as well, transcendence in some way, so we can deal with that duality between work, ambitions, wanting to achieve things, and the emotional security that we need as well. Amazing, because that's how I've been naturally feeling very, very strongly. Now, for the first card that we've got, the World, whenever the World card comes in, I always see that as a wonderful reassurance that things are going fine, that things are where they need to be. They're going as they should be going. And the World card is also Saturn. So is a ruler of that moon. Saturn in the chart is in Pisces as well, which is kind of bringing us towards that Neptune, the apex of the opposition. telling us to master the sort of spiritual, larger belief, to calm us down as well if we're feeling any anxious, if we're feeling any intense emotions as well, because the full moon can trigger that. Um, the world card is being very reassuring here. We are where we are meant to be. The Ace of Pentacles is saying that this full moon can also be a new beginning connected to our material lives, our material, achievements, material fruits, money, even like just, really making more money, having more abundance as well, and being able to share that more as well. I think that's with the Neptune as the apex. Making more money also makes us more generous potentially. It's not a rule, it doesn't always happen, but it's one of the things that I'm finding the most one of the things that I'm finding the most enjoyable about um my sort of newly found, financial professional success of these last couple of months is to be able to share it, is to be able to be generous and invite people, do nice things for my mom, or, and things like that. So that's also what comes to mind with that Ace of Pentacles and this full moon, sharing our success, um being grateful for what we achieve and what we receive, but being able to share it with people. That's, the Cancerian flavor as well. And the last card, the Three of Wands, as the Aries card, like I said, we've got that Sun, Moon, North Node, and Chiron here in Aries as a way that we can come out of this conundrum as well. But this is Sun in Aries is about an enterprise, is about being courageous, is about stepping into an adventure as well as part of this full moon. There's something of oh gosh, and the way that they look together as well is very nice. Like, you can see the Three of Wands walking towards the Ace of Pentacles in the World card is almost like courage, because the things that are coming up during this full moon can be very, very positive. Is a bit of a reassuring three-card reading here. Like, walk towards those new things, be courageous, take a step. There is no there's no easy way into success. It's like we have to deal with a lot of inner turmoils and inner ghosts and limiting beliefs and things like that. And I think that Three of Wands is telling us go for it and be courageous, be passionate, follow that passion. That can be a lot of fruits, and there can be a lot of um realizations, or um turning dreams into reality, that feeling of that Saturn in Pisces in the chart as well. So I don't know, I love that. Those three cards, I'm going to keep them here with me for the day so I can reflect on it as well for this full moon. And that's it really. I mean, for this week, astrologically, which is usually what I like to do in these videos as well, there isn't really much going on. We're still, very much Cancerian planets, Mars in Taurus. There isn't really any particular flavor that calls my attention, powerful um transits that, I really want to share with you. So we'll have a Mercury square to Chiron, but that's not going to happen until Friday next week. And Friday next week, I'll be back because I plan to be back. So this is a sweet and sleek come back, sharing with you a little bit about where I'm at, what's happened, why did I not post a video here, but also doing the tarot reading as well with you for this full moon. So sharing insights about the full moon and sharing those amazing cards, which was a real pleasure. So I'm going to keep an eye on them for the day. I'm wishing you a wonderful full moon, that you can really bring balance and abundance into your life as well, and share it with your loved ones and have that pleasure to do that. And I'll be seeing you all next week. And if you're interested in the Astrological Tarot Masterclass, I'll put the link in the comments here or in the description so you can check it out. All right. All the best to you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Lots of love, and I'll see you next week.